Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is January the 31st, 2018. Strong hand. I said January 31st, right? Not 21st. It's the 31st. It's already February here in Taipei, Taiwan. And from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight, I will be at a meetup here, link to below. So if you're in Taipei, we can meet tonight. We'll talk Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. I'm really looking forward to getting some insight into the crypto community here in Taipei. I haven't seen much of it yet, but we shall see, and I'll report back to everyone on this very channel. Hey, if you're in the chat, you can do the super chat, ask me a question. There'll be time for that. Also, check out the link section below, as I mentioned above. You can get your Trezor Ledger Nano, your awesome cryptography t-shirts. I've got affiliate links galore. So what's first on the agenda today? What do I have here in my notes? All right. I'm TechBalt, TechBalt on Twitter. That is very important to remember, people. And, you know, there is a big bandwagon. When the price starts to go down and then it's down for a while. And by the way, have some price perspective. $10,000 is freaking awesome compared to $900 a year ago or whatever it was. But you know, these naysayers, these doom and gloomers, when they see a crack, when they perceive a weakness in Bitcoin in terms of the price, because it's very simple to fixate on the price. That's why you have to have a strong hand and be a long-term thinker and pound that freaking like button. If you like this video, and if you like that way of thought, that school of thought where you think long-term and you don't get tricked into worrying about price. But the 80%ers out there, they just want simple information like price. To them, everything is price. So these doom and gloom people, they jump on that price bandwagon. So when it's down, they say, oh, the price has been halved since December. It's terrible. I told you so. I told you so doom and gloomers out there. And it's a bandwagon. They jump on the bandwagon. In order to not be on the bandwagon, you have to stand for something here. You have to it takes real conviction not to get freaked out by these people, by these bandwagon jumpers, because I'm not gonna get too specific, but there's all sorts of people out there, and they're way beyond the cryptocurrency ecosystem in traditional media, in financial media, and they are just loving it. They are loving it, and they are piling it on and saying it's a Ponzi and saying it's tulips, just the usual stuff. But just taking it to the next level, and it is the bash Bitcoin bandwagon. And in the end of the day, I've been through this many times. And the bandwagon by the way, it does get louder every time because Bitcoin is bigger every time. Bitcoin is a much bigger phenomenon now than it was, let's say, during the correction era of 2014 to 2015. So it's a bigger target. So you've got bigger doom and gloomers who just, I've alluded to this before. There are just some people in this world. They don't want to see the world. They don't want to see the world progress. They have been looking forward to the end of the financial system, the financial Armageddon, for so long that it must happen soon. So Bitcoin going down is just all part of their master plan. If Bitcoin does well, well, wait a second. Why is everyone doing well? The world is supposed to end. Why are these young people just making out like bandits and these long-term thinkers who got in at 2015? Why are they doing so well? That's not my story. That's, the story that I believe in is that the whole financial world is going to end. And I've been talking about that since 1982, dude. And that's the thing. There's people who have bet their whole life on this. They've staked their whole reputation on something like Bitcoin not happening. So they are going to go balls to the wall against Bitcoin and just jump into this crazy doom porn land. And hey, I'm explaining it all for you guys so you have a strong hand, so you can identify these situations. There isn't going to be some massive end of the world financial Armageddon. Bitcoin, you can, if you want something like that, you can say, well, maybe that's what Bitcoin is, but it's a positive version of that. It's changing the way we think about things in terms of finance, changing, things change. Just the other day, I heard that the stamps, the price of stamps went up from 49 cents to 50 cents. Back in the day, people used to care about that type of thing. Who the heck even cares about the price of stamps anymore? And that's just like with, if you're in Bitcoin, why do you care about what the Federal Reserve says anymore? What the rate that they say that the banks have to pay and that we have to pay? Why do you care about that? If you're in Bitcoin, you have left the traditional financial system, so you don't need financial Armageddon to start a new financial system, to leave the financial system, to get on. It's the evolution. This is part of financial evolution. It was hard to, who could have predicted Bitcoin, but we're there. Just like, and so you don't need to rely on government dictating what money is anymore, what finance is. Just like you don't need to rely on the government telling you how much it costs to send a message, because you can do it for free with email now. You don't have to worry about stamp prices. Stamp prices are a thing of the past. Fiat will be sort of a thing of the past. And these are awesome things. And people who are doom porners, they don't care about awesome things. They want to fixate on negative, simple things and like price. And hey, it's a free world. So you can be on the doom side or you can be on the positive side and see what's really going on here. Speaking about negative financial stuff, well, first of all, again, have conviction, people. Bitcoin conviction, strong hand. Don't be a bandwagon basher, and pound that like button. All right. So Gabriel of Venezuela will be on This Week in Bitcoin on Friday, hopefully. And yes, he will talk about what's really going on with the petro, because there's an article here that I linked to below from CNBC that says Venezuela says there will be a pre-sale of the petro cryptocurrency on February 20th. All right, it's like a pre-IPO. They're a pre-ICO. But I want to hear what's really going on. I don't know. I don't care what CNBC has to say, but I linked to it anyway. I want Gabriel, our man on the ground in Venezuela. You only get men on the ground in Venezuela here on this channel, baby. Okay, I've been bringing you this kind of thing for a while, and Gabriel is always a ball of energy too, just like me. So it'll be great. I do wonder though, what's more legit, the petro or Ripple? Leave a comment and tell me. All right. Joseph Young, the great guy who reports about what's really going on in South Korea. And I forgot to mention yesterday's show how Samsung is competing with a Bitmain now. I linked to that. That's old news now, but I wanted to mention it yesterday and I forgot to. But he points out some more competition on the cryptocurrency front. Bitmain versus Samsung, Kakao versus Line. These are social media companies in Korea that are doing their own exchanges. I mentioned Kakao before from learning about that firsthand when I was in South Korea. And Coinbase versus Robinhood. Competition is a sign of a maturing space. I think we should all be happy about that. It helps us as the consumer. Back in the day, there was only Netscape, but then there was Internet Explorer. Then there was Firefox. And, there are all sorts of ways of viewing the internet now, browsers. So we're early on, but it does happen. Again, maybe it's not 1995 in terms of internet anymore. Well, we still haven't had a Netscape moment. There still hasn't been something that's really simplified cryptocurrency for people so everyone can use it. And anyway, when the Netscape moment comes, we will know. All right, link to below is a Steam It post by David C. Bennett. It's a great post about holding. So, hey, it's appropriate for this show. But again, he contacted me. He said, hey, I'm a Steam It dude. And as I said, if you're a Steam It guy, you got a good thing going, I'll retweet it or I'll re-steam it. And I did re-steam him and upvote him. And I think I did. And I'm mentioning him. Well, yeah, I did. And I'm mentioning him on the show. So, all these people that I mentioned on the show, check them out. Upvote them, people. And you can see them all on my Bitcoin Meister Steam It page. So re-steam them, etc. Okay. I talked about the... Yeah, so going back to some of these, Carl Denninger, he is a smart guy at Market Ticker, at market-ticker.org. He is just a hater of Bitcoin, and he's stubborn about it. So when there's a price drop, he's just having an orgasm, basically. He's just just pounding away at Bitcoin, and not like pounding that like button, but pounding that hate button. And he's blinded by his stubbornness. And so, he'll take a story that really doesn't have to do, it's not a directly Bitcoin story like BitConnect, and he'll just relish in it. He'll love it. And he calls his latest story, "The Bell Tolls for the Crypto Ponzi." Again, and this is a smart guy, but he doesn't want to see Bitcoin succeed. So he's got this interest. He's just dug in. And so when he sees it drop, when he sees the price drop, it's a simple way for him to just get in. And then he's got his echo chamber over there because he doesn't let people post anti-Carl Denninger comments. It's not like with me, on my comment section, I let anybody say anything. They say the most vicious anti-Semitic stuff sometimes, these crazy people out there. But I let it out there, whatever. You want to be a buffoon and post things like that, be my guest. But Carl does, he's a big hardcore moderator. And so he's got an echo chamber over there. So, and just everyone buys into his thing. And I mention it and I link to him so you can see what's on the other side. That you can see these people who are they have no concept of what Bitcoin is. And they just want to scream Ponzi. And they want the fee and they want the system to fall apart. And they want so much, but they don't do. So when they see something happening that might be negative, they're like, well, someone's doing it for us. Finally, someone is creating this negative outcome that I wished so much for so long, but I can't do it because I do nothing. So anyway, again, go, another distraction we have is all these technical charts with Bitcoin. I am not a trader. I tell people, don't trade your Bitcoin, just buy and hold Bitcoin. But there's so many people who love to analyze technical charts, and that's your prerogative. And and maybe you're able to predict that it's going to go down to $9,752. Great. But what I can tell you is that long-term 2020, there's my number, 2020, the year 2020, the year the Bitcoin halving, it's going to be worth more than it is now. You got to think about that type of thing. You can't get obsessed with charts. And I'll tell you, I was just on the phone with a guy, or a Skype session, whatever you want to say, a guy who goes to Africa, who knows about Africa, who knows people in Africa who want to buy millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, okay? This guy has experience in Ghana, in Angola, in Namibia. I have new insight on the African excitement with Bitcoin. And cryptocurrency. I can't wait to be in South Africa, in Johannesburg, on March 5th to 12th. But it's things like that, real life, on the ground stuff. That's what gets me excited. That's what gets me pumped for Bitcoin, and is my, my rock for Bitcoin that gets, everyone's like, well, Adam, how don't you panic? How do you have a strong hand? It's stories like that, real life stories, not weird technical charts that predict 9,069 wink, wink, dollars of Bitcoin. Look, yeah, I can be a 12-year-old kid too and say 69. But that type of thing is, you're becoming obsessive compulsive, and you're going to end up having a weak hand if you're worrying about charts and Elliott waves and whatever. Think about dudes in Africa who want $1 million worth of Bitcoin in freaking Angola, in freaking Ghana, in places that you'll probably never visit, but hopefully you will. Be a 20%er, travel around the world, and you know what? Namibia was a great place to visit. Angola is like basically impossible for Americans to get into. All right, so that's my little side note. What else do we have? Yeah, be a yes, it can be done person. Okay. It can be done. That was something we used to say, my friends and I used to say in high school. It will be done. It can be done. It will be done. It will be done. Have that attitude with every aspect of your life. Because you guys, you men out there, this is mostly men watching this, you dudes are awesome. You can do this stuff. Bitcoin can do it for you. It'll take some work. It'll take some patience. It'll take some long-term thinking. But it can be done person, not a person that's wondering, oh, when is it going to all fall apart? When will the government do this XYZ thing that's going to bring everything down that I need to brace myself for? No, you do it. You should have the confidence in yourself. Do not rely on other entities, because that means you're not as confident in yourself as you should be. It can be done. It will be done. You will do it. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Smart Meister. Remember, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Check out the notes section below. I will talk to some of you in the chat right now. Bye.